the amendments in the finance bill set a clear policy and direction for our long-term public finances and our economy. It's important, this clarity of vision is that public finances will henceforth be growth-led revenue rather than tax-led revenue. This is a stark demarcation from what the MSM did for 10 years. They printed money, they imported inflation, they applied consumption tax, they applied devaluation tax, they applied inflation tax at the detriment of the citizen. And this is what we are changing. Growth-led revenues are very important because it's growth that sustains the viability of our social system, be it pensions, be it education, be it social housing, be it healthcare. And I think it's time to put one matter to rest. The MSM government clearly intended to terminate all CSG allowances on 30 June 2025. And I'd like to quote paragraph 30B, subsection 3 of the Social Contribution and Social Benefits Act 2021. The income allowance shall be payable, it's about income allowance, the income allowance shall be payable to an eligible individual directly in his bank account at the beginning of each month for the month of, hear it, July 2022 to June 2025. It cannot be clearer than that. Now, when we come to the social contract, the spirit of our pension reforms is very clear. It's aligning payment age to retirement age, and it's phased over 5 years. Now, for the benefit of our youth, we are building that bridge to the future. And I'd like to once again to shed some more light on the policy. The policy is to develop and promote outlier growth revenues, while at the same time consolidating recovery and resilience revenues. Let me illustrate it through 4 amendments in the Finance Bill. The Banking Act and the Bank of Mauritius Act provide for KYC institutions. The Bills of Exchange Act provide for electronic bills of exchange. The Economic Development Board Act provides for innovative Mauritius scheme. And the Income Tax Act provides for virtual asset service providers. To the layman, it may sound that each of these proposed amendments have individual intended consequences. However, when put together, the sum of these amendments and the sum of these intended consequences, they provide a giant leap in our economic policy. They provide for the digital and AI economy. But we will not see the benefits of these amendments today because the previous government has done nothing for the past 10 years. And allow me to illustrate, because we're talking about strategy. Earlier, the leader of the opposition said that we don't have a strategy for tourism. Hang on. We have a strategy not only for tourism, but for the entire economy. So let me make some reference. Let us learn from what's happening in the global economy. Last year, 2024, the Nobel Prize winner for economics, MIT Sloan professor, Darren Acemoglu, wrote a paper called The Macroeconomics of AI. And in that paper, he kind of studied the impact of AI on global economies. Goldman Sachs said that productivity gains could be anything around 1% of GDP, global GDP, say $7 trillion. McKinsey said the productivity or impact of AI could be anywhere between 1.5% to 3.5% in terms of productivity gains. And Singapore, they are estimating that the productivity gains over the next few years will be up to 18% of their GDP. So just imagine if in the years to come, we make even a 1% productivity gain to our GDP through the measures that we are setting out today. That's 1% GDP gain. And what Singapore is very good at doing, they are also creating a springboard to be in the supply chain of AI services. And Mauritius is well poised to do that. And if we do that, we add another 1% to our GDP. All of a sudden, that's 2% to our GDP. The reason I said it's outlier growth, because these sectors are meant to grow exponentially. 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. That's the kind of growth that we can expect from these sectors. But in the meantime, while we invest in that, while we prepare, we have to ensure economic growth through recovery and resilience sectors. And there are two sectors. The first one is property development. What the previous government did was 10 years of property sales. They had no clue what to do in productive economies. Because this government, we want to create jobs. We want to bring forex in our country. And when speaking about property, it was clear that no one is above the law. Even the government is not above the law. We cannot, this government could not, like the previous government did, subject this nation to another Betamax or another Patel Engineering by not following the law. That's one of the reasons why we grandfathered smart city regulations and other property regulations. That's the reason why we had to bring these amendments to the finance bill. And the second reason is, while developing the new economic sectors, the new economic order, we have to ensure that we get at least 3 to 4% growth, as we have estimated in our medium-term outlook. The second sector is, of course, the global business sector. And here I'd like to touch upon, Honorable Utim said it very well. In fact, both of us have been professionals in the financial services sector for the past 20 years before, at least me before getting in this house. And this is a sector we know very well. And the leader of the opposition talked about the qualified domestic minimum tax topper. Honorable Utim explained it very well. And the OECD, the G20, they adopted these GLOBE rules, Global Anti-Base Erosion Model rules. And what it means is that 15% in your country, but if you're paying 3% here, then you have to pay the balance in another country. And at the same time, you know, like MNEs, big MNCs, any MNC, any business for that matter, any investor for that matter, they always need clarity and certainty. I will not share the name, but I had a discussion with one of those MNCs in Mauritius. And they were worried because they had no clarity of what was Mauritius' position with regard to QDMTT. Because 131 countries in the world have subscribed to it. So you cannot have investment if you do not have certainty. This is one of the things that this amendment is bringing. The leader of the opposition said that such MNCs would go to Singapore and to UAE, if I heard well. Well, let me, for his knowledge, advise. Singapore adopted the QDM duty law in 2024. The Multinational Enterprise Minimum Tax Act, 2024. The UAE adopted the same law through a cabinet decision number 142 of 2024. So they've done it before Mauritius. We are playing catch up. We've been playing catch up in every growth area, Madam Speaker. And this is what this finance bill is trying to remedy. Let me now also add one thing, that the proposed amendments in this finance bill, they will provide for a sound ESG, environment, social, governance, risk-adjusted macroeconomic fundamentals. What this means, that international institutions will always look at us with a lot of attractiveness. And the leader of the opposition made reference to foreign currency. So we are proposing an amendment in the Income Tax Act where businesses earning more than 50% of their revenues will pay their tax in foreign currency. These are measures that should have been brought in way earlier, but they have not. Madam Speaker, I don't think I will speak more because the Prime Minister, Honourable Rezauddin, canvassed the finance bill so well, but I always like to end with one or two short stories that inspire me, and maybe they can inspire you too.
You have a bit of time.
That's all right. I think. Let me tell the story. So you have the nation, the Mauritius nation. The Mauritius. No, I will not. But okay, since you told me I have a bit of time, three very short stories.
Yeah.
The first thing is yes. It's important. No, it's I know
Let him speak.
Let me speak. I know why the leader of the opposition went. So I'll ask the House a question. What is the average IQ of a normal human being? The average IQ of a normal human being. It's about 122. Right? Elon Musk and Einstein, their IQ is about 155.
That's it.
Guess who else has this IQ? AI. And guess what is happening to the IQ of AI? It will keep doubling over the next 6 months. This is the prediction. And this is why the pace of change, the velocity of change will be so rapid that we have to adapt. And I'm glad to say that now the Prime Minister will be happy because we have a leadership that adapts to change. And and there are two stories that I'd like, one for the nation and one for us. The nation has stood with us. The nation has always stood with the motherland whenever the motherland has needed its children. So since we're speaking about the economy, you have Jack Ma. Jack Ma always talks about entrepreneurs in this way. He says, today will be difficult. Tomorrow will be even more difficult. But day after tomorrow morning will be very beautiful. Unfortunately, most of the people give up. They give up tomorrow afternoon. They don't wait till day after tomorrow morning. And I'm very happy, and this really touches me, that the nation is with us, and together we will rise, the nation, this government, the whole nation, after 3 years when we have redressed our economy based on our budget outlook. And the one commitment that we can make to the nation, and this is, the Prime Minister said that, he will not He does not promise to take the nation to heaven, but he certainly will not take the nation to hell. And I can tell you, this is what Thomas Edison said. I did not find 10,000 ways that worked, but I will keep trying till I find that one way that will work. And this is what we'll do to support the Prime Minister, to support this government. And with this, I commend all the three bills to the House. Thank you.